Welcome back. Today we are going to start the inter-level questions. We have already done the beginner level questions, so go check it out if you haven't already, so that you are prepared for the inter-level. And those who have completed the beginner level questions and are here for the inter-level questions, congratulations, you have completed the beginner level. So now we are going to start with the inter-level. Those who are directly jumping to the inter-level, welcome. If you get stuck in any of the questions, you can try to solve the beginner level first. We have discussed some very important concepts, we have discussed some very great questions in beginner level. So without any further delay, let's get started and jump to the inter level. Write a Java program to swap two variables without using a third variable. So first let's understand what the question is saying. Okay, we have two numbers, a is equal to 10, let's say, and b is equal to 5. So what we need to do is that we need the value of a as 5 and the value of b as 10, right? This is what the question is asking. This is clear, I hope. Now how we can do that? We don't have to use any other variable, right? This is important. So we can let's say that if I add the two numbers, I have two numbers 5 and 10, right? I'm gonna add both the numbers, I'll get 15. Now if I subtract 5 from it, I'll get 10. If I subtract 10 from it, I'll get 5, right? So basically I'm adding both the numbers a plus b, and then if I subtract b, then I'll get the new value of b. That is a basic maths, right? So I hope the logic is clear. Again, if not, then just understand a plus b minus b. What's this gonna give me? A only. A will be the only thing that will be left, right? Similarly, a plus b minus a. Let's forget this for a moment. A plus b minus a. What will it give me? The value of b. So it's simple, right? This is the logic. So what we need to do is, first we need to add the two numbers, then we are gonna subtract a from it to get the value of b, and subtract b from it to get the value of a. That's it. So since we cannot use any third variable, let's just change the value of a. First we need to declare, so int, we are writing the code now, so int a is equal to 10 and then int b is equal to 5. So since we cannot use a third variable, we'll just write a is equal to so let's get started. Int a is equal to 10, int b is equal to 5. So a is equal to a plus b. So now the value of a is a plus b, right? So till here the value of a was 10. Since I wrote this, now my a became 15. Since the value of a is 15, now to find the value of b, I can write a minus b, because b value was 5. A is now 15. So a minus 5, 15 minus 5, it's gonna give me 10. So here the value of b becomes 10. Now in order to get a as 5, I need to subtract 15 minus 10. So earlier 10 was a, but now a's value is 15 and b's value is 10, right? So a will be a is equal to a minus b. That will give me a as 5. So now we are gonna print system.printout a and then b is equal to, and then plus b. We have already discussed how to add a string and a variable, right? So that's exactly what we are doing here. We'll also print the values before swap, and we are going to print the values after swap to be clear, so that we can see the difference, right? And this is after swapping, so let's just add that also here, after. Okay, let's run it now. Semicolon, guys, we don't have to forget the semicolon. Now what? A is equal to a plus, what's the error now? Oh, the brackets, we have to close the brackets too. So we are just gonna close the brackets. Yeah, now it should run. Yeah, so before swapping, a is equal to 10, b is equal to 5. After swapping, a is equal to 5 and b is equal to 10. So I hope this code is clear. Let's move on to the next question. I actually thought that these brackets are already there, but I think I commented them out while commenting out the previous codes. So write a Java program to swap two variables using the third variable. Now we have to basically do the same process. The logic is the same, but now we can use a third variable. So let's just say int first a will be equal to 5. This time let's do as a as 5, then b is equal to 10, and then let's declare a variable temp. Okay. Also, while declaring variables, basically while declaring multiple variables, we use a comma to separate them, not a semicolon, because semicolon means the sentence is terminated. Here the sentence is not terminated after a, it's terminated here, so we need to use comma here and semicolon here. Alright, so let's move on. So int a is equal to 5, b is equal to 10, and then temp. So now we have three variables. The value of a is 5, the value of b is 10, the value of temp is not yet declared. So now this makes it very easy, because what I can do is I can simply store the value of a in temp. So I can simply write temp is equal to a. This means my temp now becomes a, right? Temp has changed to a. So the value of temp will be now 5, and there's no value stored in a. So now I can simply store the value of b in a, because there's no value in b. No value in a. So now b shifts to a. So now there's no value in b, and we need to swap it. So we can, now we need 5 in b, right? What's 5? Temp is 5. So now we are going to put b is equal to temp. This is very simple. Using a third variable, we'll just create another variable which for the time being will hold our value of a or anything. It can hold a or b, whatever, and then we are going to swap it simply. This is comparatively easier than the logic we used in the previous questions, because we are just storing that value temporarily in another variable, one of the values. So now we are going to print it. System.out.print ln, and we are going to print, let's just print a comma b, so it should run 10 comma semicolon. Oh god. So it should run as the fuck, sorry what's the error? Is not a, just a second guys. Oh god, just a second. System, we need to write system okay, it did work now. I don't know what was the error in the previous question. System.out.print sorry, in the previous time we ran it was, oh god, I have no idea. But anyway, so as you can see now, the value of a is 10 and the value of b is 5. Okay, so the variables are swapped. So I hope the logic is clear. More than the code, we'll focus on the logic, because once the logic is clear, we can actually write the code by itself after few practice and once the concepts are clear. So it's important to build the logic rather than focusing on the syntax of the code. So now let's move on to the next question. The next question is 38. Yeah. Write a Java program to find the largest of three numbers. So just a second, I'll refresh it so that the output is at the top now. Now to find the largest of three numbers, we can either use the concept of logical AND. We discussed that the concept of logical and logical OR in one of our videos. So we can either use that concept, saying logical AND concept, saying that if I have three numbers A, B and C, and if A is greater than B and A is greater than C, then A is the largest. Similarly, B greater than so on. Alright, now that is a way to solve, one way to solve the question, but an easier way, or let's say a more time efficient, when we are going to go further into our coding journey, we are going to study a concept known as time complexity and space complexity. So that's a concept that the code that takes less time is actually more efficient, right? So when we are doing this, it's a little time consuming, so we are going to find another way which is less time consuming. This is a perfectly valid way, it's a good way, but it is a little more time consuming. So we are going to find a code that's less time consuming. So let's just say if I am given A, B and C, right, and if I consider any one of these the largest, so let's say I consider A as the largest number. So now if my B is greater than A, then B will be the largest, and if B is greater than, if C is greater than B, then C will be the largest. So what we are doing is, also another concept that we discussed when we discussed if else was that we can use if, else if and else, right? But what if I write, instead of else if, I write if again? What's the difference? I think I discussed it in the if else lecture, conditional statement lecture. So if I write if else, if and then if else, or else if, whatever the syntax was, and if I just write if, right, what's the difference between these two and these two? So if I write if and if else, what will happen is that once my condition is satisfied here, it won't go here only, it will end the code. If else will end there and then. But in this case, if I have two ifs, it will check both the conditions irrespective. Okay, now I hope this concept is clear. I explained it in the conditional statements video, you can go check that out if you have any doubts. So what we are basically doing is, let's say A is the largest number. Okay, if B greater than largest, we need that now new largest will be B. But if C greater than largest, then new largest will be C. So that's it. This is the question. Very simple, very easy. See, inter-level questions we are solving so quickly and so easily. So basically A is equal to largest. B, if B greater than largest, then we need to print largest is equal to B. If C greater than largest, then largest is equal to C. So now we are going to write it in proper syntax. First, let's declare the three variables, that int A is equal to 5, B is equal to 10, C is equal to 15. Now we are going to declare largest as int largest is equal to A if B greater than largest. Then largest will be B. And similarly, if C greater than largest, then our largest is C. Simple. Clear? Now what we need to print? We need to print the largest number. So we are just gonna print system.out.print the largest number is whatever the final value of largest is. Oh, semicolon. Oh my god. When will I remember to put semicolons? So let's run the code now. Largest number is 15. Now what if I change the value of A to 20? Now A is the largest, right? Largest number is 20. Now what if I change the value of B to 30? B is the largest now. Largest number is 30. Simple. So hope you understand what is happening here is first we declare the value of largest. Now right now largest is A, that is largest is 20. Clear? Now if B is greater than largest, is B greater than largest? Yes, B is greater than largest. So now largest is equal to 30. So here the value of largest becomes 30. Is C greater than largest? No, C is not greater than largest. So this does not matter. So the last value of largest was 30. But if my B was 5, then what's happening is largest is equal to A. Largest is 20. Is B greater than largest? No. So this does not matter. Then we'll move on to this. Is C greater than largest? In this case C is also not greater than largest, so it won't move on, and so on. So I hope this is clear. Now let's move on to the next question. I'm commenting out all the answers so that if you are referring to these later, you can check these out. Okay, yeah. So moving on to the next question. The next question is, okay, it's loading, but meanwhile I'll tell you the next question. It is to find the smallest of the three numbers. So it's going to be quite similar to this concept that let smallest is equal to A. If B is less than smallest, then smallest will be B. Instead of basically largest, and wherever we use greater than sign, we are going to use less than sign. What is happening? Come on, load. Yeah. So in this question only, let's remove the comments for once and do the next question also first. Let's say smallest is equal to A. Okay. Smallest value is A. So we here, instead of largest, we are basically declaring a variable known as smallest, and we are assuming that the smallest value is A. So now if B is less than the smallest value, we are just gonna is less than the smallest value. So if B is less than the smallest value, then the value of smallest will be B. And if C is less than the smallest value, we need less than sign, then the value of smallest is C. So we need to print smallest, right? So this is clear. Here also we'll do smallest. So we are gonna run it real quick. Smallest number is 5. So as you can see, we have printed. The logic is similar, so there's no need to do dry run. The code is quite similar to the largest one. So I hope the concept is clear. If you have any doubts, you can drop it in the comment section below and I'll clear them. So now we have done swapping two variables, we have done finding the largest of the given numbers, we have done finding the smallest of given numbers. So we are going to move to the next number, which is next question, which is write a Java program to print the factorial of a number using for loop. So now we need to print a factorial. Before jumping to the question, what is a factorial? Some of you might be aware of this term, some of you might not. So I'll just tell you what is a factorial. For example, I have the number 5. So the value of 5 factorial will be 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. So basically the given number multiplied by the, like if the given number is 5, then multiplied by 5 minus 1, then multiplied by 4 minus 1. This goes on till 1. Okay, so this is factorial. So the factorial of 10 will be 10 into 9 into 8 into 7, so on, 10 into 9 till 1. Similarly, you can find the factorial of any number. Factorial of 100 will be 100 into 99 into 98 into 97 into then 96 till 1. So the concept of factorial is clear, I hope. Now instead of seeing this as n into n minus 1 into n minus 1 minus 1 into n minus 1 minus 1 minus 1, we can see this as 1 into 1 plus 1 into 1 plus 1, then 2 plus 1. So from 1 it is starting, the consecutive numbers are being multiplied till the given number. Okay, so this is the concept of factorial. So now instead of going backwards, we are going to go forward. So we are going to start from 1 and then we are going to go till 10. So this is the logic we are going to use in for loop. So for right now the value of, let's say, I will be 1. We need I plus 1, right, for because I plus plus, because we need to multiply it with the consecutive number, right? So if I is equal to 1, I plus plus will give me 2. Then we need to keep multiplying it till the range will be till n. N will be the given number. So now, but I also need to store the answer somewhere, because if we print I, the value of I is gonna be what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I cannot store the value of multiplication, right? We also need to multiply. Instead, we don't just need to find these numbers 1, 2, 3, 4. We just don't need to print the numbers from 1 to 10. We need to multiply the numbers from 1 to 10. So for this, we are going to store another variable, create another variable, count, or whatever you want to name, and then we are going to assign the value 1 to it, because anything multiplied by 1 is the number itself. For when we need to add these numbers, we assign the value 0 to it, because 0 plus anything is the number itself. But 1 into anything, right now we need to multiply. If I assign it 0, then the answer will be 0 irrespective of what I am multiplying. So I will assign 1 to it, and then we are going to multiply this with what? We need to multiply it by 1, then we need to multiply it by 2, and we also need it to keep updating its value. So count will be, first the value of count is 1, and as the loop will run, the value of count will be 1 into, for starters we need 1 into 1, right? Now this one is what? This is the value of count, and this one is what? This is the value of I. So count will be count into I. So hope this is clear. Now we are gonna find the factorial. Let's get started. First let's declare a number. Int num is equal to, let's say, 10. We are going to find the factorial of 10. For and we also have to declare another variable, as we discussed, count. So let's say int, or factorial is equal to 1. We are declaring factorial as a variable. Now for int, for bracket, syntax of for we have discussed in the loops video. For int I is equal to 1, then I is less than equal to the num, and then I plus plus. This is the syntax of for loop, right? Then we are going to open our curly braces, and then factorial. This is nothing but factorial. We are going to write it like this only. This, by the way, means nothing. We have discussed this in the operators. If I am writing like this, this just means factorial into I. So we have discussed this earlier. We can either write it like this, factorial is equal to factorial into I, or this. It means the same thing. And then we need to print outside the loop, that system.out.println. What's it? Factorial of a num is factorial. Okay. Let's run the code. Factorial is 3628800. As you can see, the factorial of 10 is 3. So our answer is correct. So let's see what's happening. What's basically happening in the factorial, what value factorial is storing. If I write inside the loop, then after each iteration of the loop, I'm gonna get the print output. So first it was 1, then 2 into 1, then 2 into 3, then 6 into 24, then 24 into 5, then basically so on, 120 into 6, so on, it goes on. So as you can see, the final answer is here. Instead of num, if I write I, So factorial of 1 is 1, of 2 is 2, so on. So I have found the factorial of all the numbers from 1 to 10. So I hope this is clear. We are going to continue interlevel questions in the next video. So hope you are able to solve it. So see you next time. Bye bye.